question. Some of you have mentioned that you're going to have investigators. This is a question from the floor. In regards to investigators, where will your office get the money for these people? If there is a budget crunch, how do you intend to keep these people on your staff? And we'll just start with Michael, and we'll go down the line. You have 60 seconds each.
Okay, well, I never said anything about investigators. Frankly, working there every day, I think what we need are more staff members that can help us coordinate witnesses and help us do community outreach and prevention measures. But I do not think that we need investigators, and nor do I think that's a wise and prudent expenditure of city funds. Given especially, I'm sorry, since I have a few more seconds, I don't think it's wise, especially given the budget crunches that we're facing. If anything, we need to be looking at ways to streamline the operations in the office, and going forward in the next 4 to 8 years, what many of you may not realize from not having worked there, we're going to be looking at a lot of turnover within our office just due to attrition and the normal retirement patterns that we're seeing throughout our society right now. Demographically, we've got an entire generation of attorneys that are getting ready to retire. We should take advantage of that shift and use it as an opportunity to streamline the office going forward. Thanks.
David.
Okay, you need investigators, okay? You can't prosecute without investigators. A city attorney, a DA, I can't go and write a police report. Without a police report, I've got nothing. How am I going to pay for them, you ask? Okay. One way is by saving the city the $30-some million it spent last year on hiring outside law firms to handle the cases that the city attorney's office can handle. Why are we doing this, you wonder? Well, they say the case is too complicated for our city attorneys. And yet, one of our city attorneys argued a case in the Ninth Circuit and won on Thursday. So I'm not buying that. We need proper investigators, okay? And I don't mean, AAA with a badge. I mean gun-carrying, sworn peace officers who can slap handcuffs on people and cart them to jail, who can present a clearly written police report to a prosecutor who will then be able to go file the case instead of what I all too often have to do is send it back for further investigation because you don't know how to do your job. You're not a professional. I want professionals, and I will pay them. I will pay for them with the money we already are wasting on private law firms.
Nudge.
First and foremost, having tried cases on both sides of the fence, both as a civil practitioner and as a deputy district attorney, in all types of cases, you need an investigator. You can't go out and interview witnesses, because if you go out and interview witnesses yourself, you make yourself a witness and you get recused from the case. So in terms of investigators, they're much needed. There aren't any, and I agree that they need to be gun-toting, because it'll change the character of the city when you have an independent city attorney who's able to investigate not only billboards, but everything else. Trust me, that is a much needed change. First and foremost, how do we pay for it? I'm gonna blow you away right now. 1/10 of the time on a digital board, 1/10 of the time, $97,000 a month times 10 comes out to $98 billion a year if you work it out for 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Why aren't we having the billboard companies pay for their own monitoring? Secondly, why aren't we taxing that revenue? It's a complete source of a new source of revenue. You need to be innovative right now in terms of monies in this city. There's a ton of ways. One way is by saving money. The other way is by creating new sources, and that's a very good source that we can work into. If they want to break the law, let them pay for the enforcement of it.
Thank you. Noel.
The idea of investigators sounds logical. And obviously what you're talking about is the efficient use of resources. Laura Chick wants to do performance audits on the city attorney's office. City attorney's office is resisting. Obviously, you go in, you have a performance audit, you get the controller to basically do and assist you, and you find the inefficiencies. And I'm sure that it's not, again, rocket science. There are tons of inefficiencies in that office. You can identify them. You provide a clear course of conduct as far as what people are going to do, how they're going to do it, and then you deliver the results for the people. As far as finding, I think that part of the issue in terms of finding dollars to help the city, my sense is one reason why Laura Chick wants to go after the city attorney's office on this is because there's a lot of waste in the workers' comp area. There's a lot of money that's going out the door. ladies and gentlemen, that I think can basically come back in the door, and we can't really stovepipe this. We have to look at a situation and focus in on, I think, just better efficient use of the city attorney's office.
Thank you. There's a follow-up question from the floor regarding billboard companies.